Assalamu alaikum dear students, I hope you all are fine. I'm your teacher Hannah Amreen and today we are starting the topic regular and irregular verbs. In this video lesson we will learn the difference between regular and irregular verbs. Along with this we will also learn the use of verbs in the sentences and identification of present and past participle forms of the verbs. First of all, let's see the definition. What is a verb? A verb is a word that tells an action or what the noun did. For example, the boy dragged the wagon. Drag is the verb because it tells what the boy did. The boy dragged the wagon. According to the tense, the verb can be classified in two forms, regular and irregular verbs. And today we are going to learn the difference of regular and irregular verbs. Look at these verbs. Are these regular or irregular? Danced, played, went, read, wrote, cut, came, bought, liked. All these forms of the verbs are the past form or second form of the verbs. We can notice some verbs have a regular ending like ed, but some verbs are changing their forms like went. Now here comes a question in our mind that why is watch a regular verb? Why is eat an irregular verb? So let's find the difference. Regular verbs and the past tense of regular verbs are laugh, laughed, smile, smiled. You can see here regular verbs usually end on ed or d. If the verbs have e at the end like smile, so we add only d. And if the verbs have no ed at the end, so at the end to make them past form we add ed at the end of the verbs. These are called regular verbs. You can see here regular verbs add ed at the end in past form. For example, play becomes played after adding ed. Take a careful look at the following chart. In this tense you will learn that in simple past tense either the verb is singular or the plural or the first person. We add ed with all types of pronouns or subject. You can see here I is the first person. We use same verb plus ed like started. You, he, she, it are singular, so we can use ed only along with the first form of the verb like played or wanted. We, you and they are plural, and with plural also we use the same rule, ed at the end of the verb. Let's read some examples of regular verbs. The base form is called the first form of the verb and simple past is the second form of the verb. Accept, accepted, achieve, achieved, add, added, admire, admired, admit, admitted, adopt, adopted, advise, advised, agree, agreed, allow, allowed, announce, announced, appreciate, appreciated, approve, approved, argue, argued, arrive, arrived, ask, asked, assist, assisted, attack, attacked. You can notice all these are irregular verbs and they are ending on ed. Now let's learn what are irregular verbs. Irregular verbs change their form in past tense like eat becomes ate and the spellings are changed. Irregular verbs do not add ed at the end. For example, yesterday Carrie dashed up her clothes. Now here the verb is given hang. So hang second form is hung. So Carrie hung up her clothes. Let's look at these verbs, infinitive forms or simple past forms. Cost, cost, write, wrote, go becomes went, do becomes did, and read remains same, read. Some verbs do not change their form, so they become irregular. Let's read this irregular verbs present and past form, and you will identify that present form has different spellings and the past form have different spellings. Bite becomes bit, buy becomes bought, build, built, catch, caught, eat, ate, fight, fought, freeze, froze, has, have, had, hear, heard, break, broke, bring, brought, choose, chose, do, did, feed, fed, find, found, go, went, hide, hid, keep, kept. These all are irregular verbs as they change their forms in past and past participle forms. Now let's learn what is a participle. A participle is a verb form used as another part of the speech. A verb form used as an adjective. So participle can be used as a part of the verb or part of an adjective. The present participle and the past participle of a verb can be used as an adjective. Remember that adjectives answer the questions what kind, how many, and which one. So the participle will do the same thing. For example, the running track is covered with mud. Running is the participle describing the noun track. The tired animal walked slowly across the highway. In this sentence, tired is the participle describing the noun animal. A participle can come before or after the noun or pronoun it modifies. For example, the depressing news on the television made us sad. Now here depressing is the participle. Most of the news on the television is depressing. And here depressing is again present participle. Irregular past participles are used as adjectives also. For example, burnt toast. In this phrase, burnt is irregular past participle. Forgotten memories, fallen leaf, or broken heart. So here you can see burnt, forgotten, fallen, and broken are participle form, past participle form of the verb which is used as adjective here. Let's see some participles used as adjectives. Present participles are usually active and past participles are usually passive. Let's see some sentences. The boring teacher talked for hours. In this sentence, boring is present participle. The bored students fell asleep. In the sentence, bored is past participle which is passive. I read an interesting magazine yesterday. In this sentence, interesting is present participle adjective. The magazine receives a lot of support from interested readers. In this sentence, interested is past participle and it's an adjective as well. Participles used as adjectives often come after the noun they modify following a linking verb like be, become, or seem. Let's see some examples here. Mathematics is an interesting lesson. My friends are interested in sports. You seem confused. Problems often become frustrating. I am fascinated by my children. My children quickly became tired at school. School can be tiring for young children. In these sentences, interesting, frustrating, tiring are present participle forms of the verb. Interested, confused, fascinated, and tired are the examples of past participle forms. I am sure students you have understood well the difference between present participle and past participle forms and regular and irregular form of the verbs. See you inshallah in the next lesson. Take care all of you. Have a nice time. Allah Hafiz.